right, I hear for any active for maybe I'm be assembly chatroom and I decided Abremo a year chairman TV Canada and I will assembly boy in some now do na besa bro beam if you say you say Ghana no assembly there politics now the dead so but me test dream all year rounds we break or koto we break a year or my Ghana moon so sort of my penny John Dramani Mahaman so or also and yede omunyina ho sem ebe bro free sambre because ye chairman de munim say djuma edia no ye hwempanifo no adwuma omodia de beboa oman Ghana ene de nsem omo kan de beboa oman no ene de beboa nipa na ti oman ni mo no ehun nsem na yede bro de bie nsem na ni ene abuibu mu ye also ebobo ho so da say also de ho komode hu adwene po ene mapapa ewo mu a betimi de abeboa o man summary free summary konde ya TSC krum Ghana ya ti Canada so ya nam Ghana zebe koso nya de be bro na onso ahu se ne eko midi ane Patrick Ara chairman medi just record and bro ba bibia wo hwe me anase ba bibia wo tie be free bia no just record and medi ma summary Dr. Bawumia outlines his vision plans to take Ghana to the next level throughout his tour. Some of Kano, there's a person de Ghana, economy, or person move Ghana, economy. So the Baya direction about Boa Mayano and name Mabunune. This is the Riasine Konosana, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, a person or Che. Yabakaya or no any a year, some read the old to Franca, dear Ma a year MPP or Suno, Ama Yukono, or no any dear Nimua, or Hesse or Betimi, Abua, Aji, a year, Akunyana Samo will be one present or more tries over breaking 8, you know. But I don't think it's so easy the nipani be kind of baby no say easy but ne nyina etojiwa so that say nyina no ye betire adwene nyina behwe ne enko ne de eba enti ne nsemo a wode atodwa no especially say na bi kaka no normal wa hwehwe epeso de bo man no na ne to ne nyina no wadi kan aka say oye vice president no he talks about his achievements as a vice president ne nyina no or the two baby or be or the two when him or vice president in Pono, Juma say and what you made dinner or be president as well and the Beko say it Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and some of the namono. Not just already you heard Ghana ID card and the Utumia Usha and I just say ye no be breed the ball minor. Samsung addressing system on sono or Chrimwa or Timmy I addressing system no ama ne uko bia uba address nation bia and I say no call Samsung industrial groove on which room one is industries and also more was the Bayer and also Bayer vice president and also what Boama and also acronym. Samsung mobile a year more money a year interoperability and also or trim one and also Wayama acronym pioneer Utia Bridge and Utimis and the Utu them Utimis and this Kakomon and now mammy will be straight away first and as I can just Nina or Chess or no and I decide humanum. Samsung or can medical drones also and some say nipa ni bebre na yare no bi wo ha ho adro ho edin ti omutumi the drone no call hospitals ni bebre edin really come on which is very good. Samsung na agenda 1111 and also no hospitals akesia omusi ohani dubako that's 111 hospitals omu person omusi edebua o mine Samsung osan boss so eliminating ghost names and so now is the first no uchra that is any nipa ni bebre jakatua omun system no so na omoja katua but chese na system no de aba no yi sa no mani nyina e de afi system na say enye eni nyina mpo a watime yi bebre na e de afrim at the same time no ka one constituency one ambulance so and so odi akire ebo modern say sadio ma no obetimi de aba o my Ghana mo ampa so ye nyina e di adanse say one ambulance no and so one constituency one ambulance no e wo Ghana sisi a adwuma free SHS so on the boss nanado omu nyina committee bomu and so omu ye gidigidi at the same time no paperless at the airport no so and also chance wadi ho dwuma ono ade di ho dwuma je say wa ba dwuma pa nsem a odi tu dwa no ebi a je say odi ba pro no normal watumi aye mpo so oye vice president no na is any obegistia na and eno na man for the born mra na obegistia na me odistia na me a obebo dwuma pa na porrible no na say ne rounds na okono. It has been a very fantastic one. I've been watching it and I've been watching both of them, all of them. We've just been monitoring them and see how things are going. But at the same time, or the vision and the plans for Ghana no and a new policies are no so be president so to me be president 2025 na 2025 no na just say idea obebo modern say all this normal we nyina be gu akwan so na timi aboa oman Ghana na in fact ochiremu na Greek sector no obetra so be improve agric sector because no any the main agenda wa back a is in the super so be say agric no betu akona ni because so my be here na a free a year na agric system no fin so or the solar power energy no say or the 2000 megawatts beboa say the be year first 4 years no or the beba oh my god say the be year nkane nsem ne light system no de bia na dum so na say dum see whatever it is no or try so best of what's problem asem we ye di ka ho asem bebre one day programs atwa mu ni nyina na me de sa no ma we nyina be brew am wo hu say sa no ma we nyina yakon ID card national ID card yakon no man bebre na yakon but then they omo implement ni nyina na che energy some say yempo no ye ka ho asem the back in the days so that say it is solar energy we Ghana we bo ni nyina tukun so da bia ye light musumu any problems is na ye face light but ochiremu or the 2000 megawatts first 4 years no eba be solve half of the year electricity problem eti Bawumia any so ade hunu bia also ode ba no so na introduction of electric buses and the cars as you see no hwe ewiase na you know obia person use electric car system and as a bus system because of a year fuel abonin ehun some bebre ade chia we na osi me na meton fuel no matum say and as to kwesi eti sa no manoma ni nyina no Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia chirimu a opeso de sa electric buses ni bi ba Ghana say the be year pressure no ebe from sa so na private sector partnership or can was some so ne a private sectors no ebe ka bomo bi nwuma ye normal be introduction of a credit card a bruchira say no credit card na ye the man wa ultimately twa ho also the bi ba Ghana sa so na flat yes tax system no also the bi ba eti no tax system no say the no chirimu no me be jani nyina ma watie de o kan nyina me bobo no ma ni bi so o kan no but ono a be chirimu mo ama o hu de o peso chire na ensem na o kan bi say flat tax system no na je say o hwemu a GRA anase kwan ya faso gituo ne ho kro ne ba no ni nyina no ma manfo dodge tax no so de be o mo peso metua no but when it very simple obi abetu the tax easy am o man no so ho ahan no science no chiremu a flat import duties so service and the normal ship normal origin brepa but Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia chiremu ni nyina no obenya entiase ene enchiremu mo ewo video na mede ebe ma onim na o chiremu anase import duties no ade a obe tisukra na so obe na flat say na 20 feet container na 40 feet container say 20,000 and as 2,000 Ghana cedis whatever it is on the price no almost setting up or hwese ne togo de ni nyina be the same say the be ya amount for 80 million bi emfa togo ne ho kro ne ba mepie mu Ghana etisa no mo nyina no waka ho asem a o chese obedi o mampani 2025 na or the sa policies we nyina ba abeboa o man nam samso na oka faceless audit by GRA so edit by say be kakra no onu ba GRA for nya fe na omo ba be ye nneoma hwanyan ne nneoma bebre bi odi nneoma tutu akwan so age say GRA for no omo auditing no nya ade ba din bia biem sa so na management of for natural resources and also wakan wasem ye gold hu nsam wo hwe ye nyina yakohu a oil ye de oil na say ye gold nzumro fo ne ba de omupe e na omde man kakra bi fia bi sa no ma no na omde man na omafade aka ni nyina ko ni nyina no Bawumia so ba abeye ho enhihye partnership with the church and also for development also on sorry no ohwe ansori no betumi aboa Ghana no sasem we aka wasem sorry betumi bi nyuma boa ansori ma no ama aban no the pressure no akofom ni nyina Bawumia so ba be den or ba abehwe policies ni dozo but apro na okono oduru bia no aka bi duru bia no aka mo na ba menim say omo manifesto no ye be hu bebre wo enti chairman TV and I say I do TV no ya fatu ya say e free sam rekono ye be momo de ekoso o my Ghana money de eko nyina no ye be bo amane ama won so wati bi na won so no unua bi e o my Ghana mo watimi na kasa na ono so hu ba bia o de ne kokromoti ne ebe kwa kutim because o man aka hu ma me no mienu nyina metie ye twenwa den awde bi beko ye obruchi no wonim se na etie e den e betwe am e de bi akọ e wontumi nkasa wonye eti no wonso no nua kasa na de wonim no na wonso aka kire no na watumi ayeden aye ade papa betumi aboa anaso watchusu leader papa ebetimi aboa oman aboa menomie no leadership no eno na eku Africa continent no ye leaders na eku yan bibie ni obiem nka ye leaders na boa yen se de ohwa bruchire ni other places no omoboa nka nye ne se menomie ni etu kwan abetra amanfo manso a ye tete so sa no so ada se etimidi ene Patrick ana chairman se no yika ka kire onom me the video no to aso de amount na watie ensem a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia enamo a okanom aporbo a wokone ne ensem a oyiguo ene wohwe a one nipa no namfom chezenya de ketua hwe video no na obehu ensem na America no obenya mu chiremu mo ya mishra ese wabeka ona mom na mom no bomodi answer be subscribe to the channel onye ya on subscribe to the channel na first time wa bomodi answer be dey obe subscribe to the channel no like it na afi wa share video no so e dey amai na wa ma comment say bodwuma papa fa my comment na ye nyina no ye mboa ye ho kakra nyame shraw na onka ho
a owode ma oman Ghana ne mampanyina ye no oba betoa so no mo be bompa ye matima ye den abam ye damase bebre se ye to nsafra mo maba e ba betie Ghana mampanyina abedi atire ye sese Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia ye mo makwa ababi damase
Yadru so no regional chairman da wasipa na yadru so no e besre na campaign nyina His Excellency Vice President Namwa Obo Apro no nya campaign no e ho hyehyeye esi ne naso o chinchim campaign no fruma o dandan no senkunimdie ebeba wayo bidanti e na yasan kukuru dibia kese sei e de ama no Honorable Dan Kwaku Botwe e besre na ono so e de na no disem ato da
the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, on the Casa de Bluff, I can't mean to mention idea, but me try. There be a could be a no who Papa Niama software. The first greeting, the eminent clergy. Ya Papa Niama no ma ye ewade insia na mu wo asase so. His Excellency the Vice President when they paying form by Erano nyame aso dwen ka mo nyina akasa fo edi kana kan se de amapanye fi ase o hye kete se campaign ba bioboko bia no obedi kan hia asofo ene nyame asafo mpanyifo asana wa fi the campaign na so fi ase wo Eastern Region Ekropon yenya such a good fellowship ye to aso called Western Region the same thing Western North and Ranso na ye wo ahafo yishia onuanum se ya ewo ho na uti think asampa na the presence of God was felt. But it is important that you place him maybe in perspective. Yeah, politicians. We belong to a political party called New Patriotic Party. But it's very true that it was a party founded on the strong belief in God. The penny Professor Bizia, I will free her. Muamunim, the man with any faith. And it has run through all that we do. And I'm saying politicians in tea. Net will be uncle for politicians be unity. I can say Nasma okay, yeah, Aba. Mopasia to Mamu December 7 via Tinaja. Bobby share had more pretend say, Musrunya minty, Mabbe pay a vote. Say, Obitunes are maybe on young from some people because of the Akoso. But Nyame insi enamufo, meet my can. A woman him say, Daddy. ye penny Dr. Bawumia a ye dinechi any ye kuo no ye wo gidie so nkompa ye ano keka de ka say ye gidie wo nyame and that God directs and rules in the affairs of men is something we believe, not because we want votes. And one said, "It do so now mutungo for some we did say your policy, your montumaya, your budget, but that is not the purpose of this gathering. It's so important. With the greatest of respect, you are men and women of God. You have studied, you know theology more, you study the Bible, you have a lot of flock. It's a scriptures are saying, but you say the crowd, majority of the people, those are the votes we are looking for. But at times, they are not always right. And therefore, it's important say, Yajuma ye no so no, ye bit me church your flock no matin ni be biase. We have so many examples in the Bible. Our Lord Barabbas was chosen over our Lord. When Pilate stood before them, Nipa me no when the minya mama was here pe Barabbas my. Hey, prisoner, robber. But that's why the crowd yelled more and more. You read through all the Gospels, they yelled, Barabbas my. They chose him over the Lord. So the crowd at times can yell for something. And we also respectfully submit that it will take the men and women of God to try to let them understand perspectives. Because you are the flock, you take care of the flock of the Lord. We keep saying, Mekai be Sofu Penyin Ransford, the leader Ransford Synagogue of Christian Service College. He was given an exposition about democracy in the 1980s. And I said, all this democratic practice, the foundation is a representative governance. And the foundation is in the scriptures. So I said, how do you mean? Also, you go to Exodus 18, and you talk of when Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, visited him, and he saw how he was taking care of the people. Hey, let me give you counsel. Moses, what you are doing is not right. It will wear you down. And you go to Exodus, I think 21, they say, find able men who fear God, who hate covetousness, and who will be justice. Now find the parish of Mansa, Kakra, thousands, hundreds, fifties, say. Now say, Ebro almost swa. Now me the day on the abro. If that is not democratic practice, representative governance, what else it is? And so that is the foundation. Now ye jigi pa say sapepepe and the Kenyan say Obaba electoral area, assemblymen, Obaba constituencies, MPs, Obaba districts, DCs, Obaba regions, Obaba national. At the end of the day, we need able men who fear God to be in charge of God's people. I don't know yesterday. Say ye foundation, ye jidisa, and we practice it. Again, you go to Acts 1. Voting. When Judas betrayed the Lord. Because I said, we are apostles, we are men of God. They cast laws. They cast laws between Matthias and Barsabbas. And the prayer, he said, Lord, you know the hearts of men. Between these two, guide them to select one. And that's where we are saying what I said from the beginning, that we are not here pretending. We believe, just as the prayer the apostles prayed before even they cast the Lord, Lord, you know the hearts of men. We believe God knows the hearts of men. We stand here not for political optics, no, but we believe it. We believe it, and want you to believe with us. Say ye jidipa, It's not just for the optics. That God rules in affairs of men, and God knows the hearts of men. If we are pretending, God knows, and our leader believes that. And we also believe strongly that politics, the desire for power, it comes of all sorts of things. People will come up with theories and take a lie. There can be treachery, there can be all sorts of things. And people even try to limit what God can do. But you know it better. I cannot stand here and talk about these things. You are the theologians. But you know it better. That even it came to a point where God had to use an ass to speak. In Numbers 22, Balaam sitting on the ass. A frumo ass those upon course a frumo. Or no who the angel of the Lord. Then the panago attends to know who God can use and what God can do. It's in the hands of God. Under no circumstance will limit what God can do and who God can use. So I did be praying and I can try to and when I'm in some. And inside GDN and Ikuta, your fapim no do no ejida sadi wish. The GD say at any point in time, Obia or G Namidi, no ban who quine, no Sarah no with a GD for no so. Yabe Fapa no so, no one you saw that yes, we believe it strongly. Our testimony is there. And we are looking for able, capable men who fear God, who hate covetousness, who be just to the people. Like you read Chronicles, you need it. We are no during the king way, Jeroboam, way by way you say, is it not written in the Chronicles of the Lord? I am for ba, now I am for call. A big mama, a big subsidium, they do things different from whom they succeeded. So you cannot normally characterize a new chief, a new king, just because of what the father also did. We believe that at any point in time, the fervent prayer of the faithful will let God choose for us a capable person who fears God. And that is what we are here, to join our faiths together. Na ye mompaye, na ye seremo, ye ma, ye flock, and also direction, so that we can cut a man of near shot at the airport here, a bit poor ye man. No, Papa, Masofu, Mamma Masofu. A Juba ye, most of you be, I had the corona in the service of the people. Yet didn't put the ya because you people to tin here. As me sure pass school fees, I suffer no conform my channel to school fees. Conform hospital, about the high yoma, with me, over my chain, Musumutia. So, in addition to the directly spiritual things you do from the pulpit and that, taking care of God's flock is also part of it. And that's in another way, Yanso, Amanya Semno, Yanso Pessia. And we join together. I was telling them, me papa the catechist kakra small and bro, my buy here. Oh ha, yes, you can't say, can't in your baby, because your baby now, get to Baba Missing House. Oh, and you and I read the crack, you did this, the Bimo Fama Hona, ye and Kotoka, Rebina, ye. Oh ha, yes, we have a cool, your baby, no Befi, or here we, no Befi, and I'm sure you know it better. These are the service you keep on doing to take care of God's flock. And so what we do as political leaders, and what do you do in addition to the spiritual welfare of the people? And there we can join together and serve the nation. And lastly, our leader believes it. This is not a 9-day wonder. This is not just because of paper waiting. This is something that he will continue to do. Say the 2 million manual from 2025 now by the President of the Republic. This consultation will continue throughout his tenure as the president, and it's something that he's committed to. We have been with him, we've known him, humble but fair, humble but disciplined, humble but committed and focused. Our opepa. So abasum omai. Our papa say ejuma ye JF Kennedy can say politics is to pursue policies and programs that will upgrade the quality of life of the people when well implemented. This is our mission. And Yesiki, this contract, testament with Nyami, is a Namufu. Say Mumwai and Pabosum, Kokoto, Mumon Paye, and Maye. Onya Akumapa, and your Paso Besum, and one thing. By having that control over him all along throughout, and also counts on your continuous support and prayers. And we count on it, we believe in it, and we sincerely ask you to help us in this matter. It is in that spirit that we'll call on Dr. Bawumia to address us.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dan Kwekubuchi, Campaign Chairman with our SPA. Right Reverend Dr. Festus Yeboah Asuama, Anglican Bishop and the Chairperson of the Christian Council, Nyame Asafo, Regional Minister, Minister for Religions and Chieftaincy Affairs, Minister for Local Government, Minister for Employment and Labor Relations and Pensions, MP4, Sinyani West also, the National Chairman of the MPP, our Campaign Chairman, Oha, the Vice Chairman, Fred Owari, the Regional Chairman of the MPP, Abronya DC, Engineer Kwablaje Ajapong, Senior Advisor, any lawyer, and Ogribuahi, another Senior Advisor. Our members of Parliament here present, Kwajima Menu, the Man Central, Paul Chumberma, the Man East, Kwisi Amayao Chiremi, Sinyani East. Our Deputy Attorney General is also here. Chuayeboa is here. Dr. Ayu Afriye, MP, Efisia Efijasia Sokori. Regional Executives, MMDC, CEOs. Ingina Oha, Ben Abdallah, Zongo Coordinator. Oha, Salifu Said, Senior Advisor. Ingina Yekya, Sia, Michiamonina. Meden Yamiasi say ene yetiwinya sa opportunity we say yemeshia na yembo din komo kakra. Wonyina anim say me eye Frankatuni New Patriotic Party for 2024 elections no. Inti mashia say me bo apro ewo Ghana ha. Say the campaign chairman ekanye no. I call Eastern region, I call Western region, Western North, Ahafo, and Ranajo, and a Mabedu, Bono region, and a pay pese minimushia, and Yameso, a man a year possible. Yingina yin say, in Yamenkwana Osihini, and Yanipa, and Yame, and Osihini. Bible can say, unless the Lord builds the house, they will labor in vain. Inti, upese, utusafra anamoina ubeye umampenya. Ebefri nyamiho, enyenipa ho. Inti, first order of business is to seek the favor of the Lord. Inti, because ushe said maybe a meeting as vice president and leader of the MPP, flag bearer of the MPP. Me aminim say starting from childhood ebesi he anei megina he nyame nkwa no betumi yes adia enyemia because media na me papa nyesikani inti because the only way you make progress is education and to focus on education. Me mako by day koto ofu we call London school fees in me call a taxi driver. Me call Canada me call a cleaner na dormitories me cleaning and me students na me a cleaner enti minim sede we assistie minim sede nipa abrabo so etie na we mu nyina me ko mu no we mu nyame ebue kwan mani through education na ebe ye vice president of the Republic of Ghana enti nyame na ye enti na ye we share me slogan for this campaign never be bring tears me say it is possible with God. It is possible. Everything is possible with God. We shouldn't lose hope. No matter where you start, Yami can raise you to another position. And that is what I say, it is possible. Yami bet me you see anybody to bring positive change to a society. Anybody. May Madame Fubio, a pastor, Minini Diagro, say, can anything good come from Wale Wale? And they say, anything good, something good can come out of Wale Wale. If God says so. If God says that something good should come out of Wale Wale, it will come out of Wale Wale. We shall buy the way God used Cyrus to help the people of Israel. Cyrus not only Gideon, but God used him to help the people of Israel. 80 years, something good can come out of Wale Wale. Ghana ha, Nyame Ashira Empire. We have to appreciate it. Sometimes we take it for granted, but said ye tieno ya sitting in Ghana ubetumi who say ampanya miashira omai ade na me kanasa ye wo serious amount of religious tolerance for Ghana. It's a very, very enviable situation. Nancy me call Vatican echo share His Holiness Pope Francis, and he is so knowledgeable. It's just amazing. Now, you need think more about Ghana. No, can say, they are open about Ghana. No, it's the religious tolerance for Ghana. So now, so much that is going on because Ghana is different. Omaya Chief Imam, 100 years birthday. Now I call Catholic Church, I call Pompai. 100 years birthday. Omaya, Mimi call Ramadan tour, call breaky fast. Now, Asafo Abe joining me. Now I call breaky fast. It's very, very special. Me na me mama Christoni before worry me papa. Na oko Wesley Girls. One of the first northern girls are Omoko Wesley Girls Sabreno. Na worry me papa no o converti to Kramo to Muslim. Me papa 17 children. No on Diagro. No, the agro. 17, yeah, football team plus reserves. Now, are there here interesting your family morning saying 17 no yakano. 9 yeah Christopher, 8 yeah must crabble for in the same family. 80 usha na your family no na Quran or na Bible so na ya kan kai ni na me ya kwada na me call Methodist Boys Brigade na me brigade. And then be a vice president. Me sounds so ye patron of the Methodist Boys Brigade of Ghana. Me enjoy mo. I'm still a brigadier. Once a brigadier, always a brigadier. Inti many Christopher, ya sitting come. I have no qualms when I enter a church or when I pray to God. Last year, Presby Church, Akropong onya 100 years anniversary me call 100 years na me sidebe na me my church here to honor their service to Ghana and the 100 years anniversary. Na me say Mercy School ama Presby Church wo Kwabantam wo Eastern Region.
Yes,
Mercy School no ama wo. And it has gone very well. Also share and then me a patron of the Lepers Aid of Ghana. And then me Father Campbell and a Lepers Aid no and a Hoejuma. My summa abaye patron for Mother Teresa's soup kitchen. Na that is the nature of Ghana. Tolerance, no, and how the important thing is how we help our people, how we bring, relief to our people. Indeed, media, whatever I can do to bring relief, to uplift the poor, no, sana me pese me. Now, that is at the core of my political values and my values. Say, come to save the people. Beboa omain. Beboa hiafu. Try to shift this country into the direction of a very positive change. Na dinti na me pese Ghana omaye unyina momfa omai enhye mensa mene MPP nsa na yentimi ye ejuma emma Ghana for uhwe ejuma ayaye in the last 7 years no eye ejuma bebre yenye wie de but ejuma ayaye no is very significant. It's because uhwe yeni nipa ye pre say ye betena akoni yesu Oman penyin dadan ohwe ejuma obeye na ohwe ejuma yesu yebeye ya ejuma ye no is much more than ejuma obeye. So just on the track record in terms of performance, whether it's creation of jobs, you created 2.1 million jobs, and then for him it was nowhere close. Many infrastructure, many things. Greek. Double their Greek growth Onya, notwithstanding the challenges, industrial growth, all of that, we are ahead of them. Infrastructure, railways, roads, libraries, classrooms, hospitals, ningina. We have done much better. But we share me ejuma me so be in my capacity as vice president Noah. Ne ideas are made by a government. Na ye juma no. But who say miso my juma bibri account. Ye buy ye the Ghana card no abaga Ghana. They have issued it 17.6 million people and your Ghana card, and then we have even extended it to newborn babies. And then you go akoda, you didn't go way in you be mano Ghana card number, any birth certificate number at the same time without going to apply specifically. For it, the address system so Ghana a PBR address, digital address so and I was the champion of that. The mobile money interoperability Ghana to make sure say there is interoperability between Momo accounts and bank accounts. So and then bet me CK free Momo account to bank account from telco one telco MT and I got to Telecel and Tigo and any other telecom company. Ghana, by the way, is the first country in Africa to achieve this interoperability between Momo accounts and bank accounts. No other we are the first to do it. Now, Oshaswa, make I say, Yemfa paperless ports, Emba, Yenye digitalization of the passport office, Yemfa drones, Emba Boye in the remote areas, Emfa a drone, emojane, all sorts of vaccines, and call remote areas. And last year, say flats by a from planes. Obeying to me, examination time, drones, no FR, question paper, exam papers, no, drop in or and then Ghana is the leading country in the world for medical drone delivery. We are number one, the whole world. Ghana. And Chebia, they hired 2 people from Ghana. Bako Eko San Francisco to lead a team on drone flights from Ghana to San Francisco, because all the drone centers are 100% manned by Ghanaians. 100%. And they are excellent. So the Bako San Francisco, Bako so Japan to help them in the setup because more experience. We are the leading country in the world on this drone technology. Saving lives every day because every center, about average of 100 flights a day, medicines, every flight is saving a life. We have today another idea made by one constituency, one ambulance. Agenda 111. Now, Koso. Let me say, let's eliminate ghost names from our payroll. Let's use the Ghana card to identify every worker so that we know the fingerprints of everybody. And yes, sir, ghost omoni fingerprints. Some phone need say fingerprint. So we can say we the fingerprint and ban on some of you know almost Jenny Kufri ho. Omwamba enti we who say Controller Accountant General Office, Senate Office, National Service Secretariat. National Service Secretariat, 44,000 names if you payrolls. Senate was almost 29,000 names. Free ghost pensioners. Those 2 institutions alone, you're saving over 700 million Ghana cedis every year. Yearly. Just those 2. They from Controller and Accountant General. So government payroll and a problem that existed for so long. Ghost workers. Now we are losing so much money. And then ghost workers in Nihobio. And then Ghana card no so utukwain and passport yirawa aborochiria. And then because we have linked it to the ICAO database and it's certified, ubet me for Ghana card, a fruit plane from London, Abba Ghana, from China, Abba Ghana, from Mexico, Abba Ghana. They will allow you to board the plane because this is where we are. goal for oil policy is also aba ejuma. And then ultimately fee na wafa o mobile phone na wato electricity credit ejuma. What register national health insurance and as we renew national health insurance. Policies no bebre na yedi aba na mesomeda ano in terms of championing or initiating these policies. Inti Usha, I have the track record of a problem solver, and so mitimia yewe ejumai na as vice president mi gidi say mumma me 2 million na me be ye president me ye na brosa amagana me ye na brosa amagana. And my commitment, so said America, to the fight against corruption is clear. I'm very committed to that fight, and I'm using technology to battle that fight very, very clearly. It also be me pese mama misa akwenya na se me mbeye mampenyin no se me pese me di some deep changes, positive changes every Ghana mai. Osha, we have many issues we are dealing with, and then the cost of living has gone up across many countries. You travel, call US, call Canada, call Germany, Japan. There's a problem with an increase in the cost of living. Following COVID, following Ukraine, and Ghana is no exception to the increase in the cost of living. So, but we have to address Ghana's problems, in a way that is consistent with our challenges. Food is critical. Intermediate, I want to see a lot more commercial and a lot more mechanized and irrigated agriculture. Commercial, because a lot of small scale farming. So we per se the technology eba ebwa na irrigation so aka farmers like Meno understand why technology and mechanization and that is to reduce food prices. Electricity prices have become a major issue for Ghana. And me perceive new policy the move away from fuel in terms of liquid fuels and even gas, move away from that more towards renewable energy. Me perceive your generation mix for electricity to be mainly dependent on solar power and hydropower. Let's move away from these constant increases in prices that we don't have control about. Any problem in the Middle East, then immediately fuel prices go up, transport prices go up, food prices go up, and we are just sitting here doing nothing. But nyame ache for free solar and technology and so on. Ma announce say nyame adom na me ba me de 2,000 megawatts eba in 4 years of solar power. That is half of our consumption. 2,000 megawatts. Unim say uktofuala, the price is 14 cents per kilowatt hour. You see solar maximum 7 cents per kilowatt hour. That's half the cost, and it's coming for free. So that is where we have to go. Yanko solar. Interestingly, the private sector is very interesting. 2 different countries have come to see me. Say umobetimia abwa ene 2,000 megawatts. Ding na umokoye na me say unyina betimia ye 2,000 and then monkoye we ye 2,000 oh so ye 2,000 ye 4,000 na ye de yako. It is not there is no restriction. So we can even do more than the 2,000 I have proposed. But there will be lower cost of utilities for Ghana and more predictability, because we don't have to look for foreign exchange to buy fuel. Because the oil, which is what is driving this, is now going to be the sun. It changes everything for us. And you're moving away in the area of public transport from these liquid-based fuels to electric vehicles. It's now happening in many parts of the world, but let's go electric. Electric, no, yet data, no, studies, no, EVA. It will bring us about 40% less for public transport. Metro Mass, STC, GPRTU, Hong Kong, and we're going to help all of them move from the liquid fuels towards electric vehicles. We are trying to bring in 100 to 200 buses this year to let Ghanaians see how it can bring down the cost of transport. And then we'll ramp it up next year. The Toswa Mepese Mrs. as far as the policies are Mepese Medebano. How do we bring down interest rates for businesses? It's a big issue. It's an issue I've been thinking about since I was in Bank of Ghana. And we wrote a book on that issue, monetary policy generally. Because the interest rates, they are too high for businesses. The key, there are a couple of things are, but one of the keys is to reduce government expenditure and increase private sector involvement in the economy. That's a major key, because there are many things our government the private sector can do, and they are willing to do. They have the money to do. In fact, one of the strategies I've implemented in digitalization, so much digitalization in Ghana, a lot of people wonder, different countries, they wonder how we're able to do so much in Ghana in digital. We are one of the leading countries on the continent as far as digital is concerned. Clearly. Me call Kenya, now me call EMA interview in Kenya on their national TV station last year. They were shocked. They now Omoka say na Omona Omoye one of the key leaders in digitalization in Africa. Because explaining the course of Ghana, they showed my interview for 3 days. Now they realized that they have to catch up with Ghana. But one of the keys to Ghana's success, the private sector. Most of the systems are private sector and finance. And those systems, when they work, the private sector gets a fee. And if they don't work, they don't get the fee. So they make sure the systems work, and we are all benefiting. And it's that same thinking, overall government. Let us see the things the private sector is willing to do. Schools, they are willing to build the schools. And answer tech says here, accommodation is built by the private sector, and they pay. Once you let the private sector build, we can rent it from the private sector. And so rather than looking for money, get fund looking for money, say you better and build these schools and not having enough money to furnish them. There are so many uncompleted projects. We should have just asked the private sector, you build, we'll rent for you from the next 15 years, and after that it will belong to us or something. We can structure these transactions, private sector, then we will have no problems with uncompleted buildings. Vehicles, many schools here, buses. We try to buy all the buses together at one time. We don't have enough money. But private sector supplier, every month, we will have buses for every school. So we don't have to try as government to do everything. But government, to me, reduce your expenditure by bringing in the private sector. The Nuban who said we will borrow less. That is the bottom line. There will be less borrowing. in the economy. And when there's less borrowing, there's less pressure on interest rates. Because once you borrow more, the demand exceeds the supply, the price goes up, then you have to pay more interest. So, but once we bring down the road, because private sector can build roads. You know, you go to Ivory Coast, you see how the private sector is building roads. Here we start, government who actually in kakra, you a contractor, no kakra. That the private sector will build the roads and it will work, and we can pay little by little. And that is where we want to go, you know, and especially our schools. We need to get the private sector involved. The Tosono says, how do we bring interest rates down? There's a critical piece in the developed countries. Ukwa brochria, you obi $1,000. Otimi spendi $10,000 out of the $1,000. Dienti omo credit system. Credit system no na Emma abrochiri working on. But why do they have the credit system? They have individual credit scoring. Ubia wo ne credit score. So uko se uko je creditor, ye share u credit score. U credit score ye gooda, ye bema u credit at a lower interest rate. Ye bada, ye ada unya credit and also interest rate be high. Ghana said a mitro mi book numo in 2010. We need to bring a credit scoring system. But there, what was missing was the key data, national ID, address system, integration of databases, no, not any ho. And so your credit reference agencies, no, they couldn't do individual credit scoring. Nyame adom, that problem is virtually solved now. And this year, Nyame adom, and most likely this month, I will launch the credit scoring for Ghana, individual credit scoring for Ghana. Ebe changing Niema Bebre is bringing something that has never happened in Ghana before, and we will be only the second country in Africa, in sub-Saharan Africa, after South Africa, to have individual credit scoring. It's a major thing, EBA, and so that will change things, and it will help us start to bring down interest rates if we combine it with lower government spending now. Individual credit scoring, no. The third thing, Ghana, a tax system. The tax system is complicated. It's very complicated, and it's not friendly to business. GRA, I love GRA, they do a lot of good work, but sometimes they are also under pressure. The tax bill, we a businessman. Almost between 30,000, 40,000. Now, the way the calculation went. Now, to shop and all of that. So, individuals and businesses, we have a complicated tax system. My dream was, and so I've been looking at different countries, and the tax systems are more. The data shows that the most tax competitive country in the world, number one for the last 10 years, is Estonia. Estonia, Intimidimi team from GRA and other places, I put together a team. Missy Yamko Estonia. Yamko She Ejuma Omoyaho. They are the best tax nation, competitive nation in the world. Yakoho, Mokoye meetings, and we understood their system. The system is a flat tax system. Obia to me calculating the tax, so it's easy. 10%, Obia says 10% flat tax. So you don't have any problem with calculating what you owe, and therefore the compliance, a very high compliance. In 18, I may say, after studying across the world different tax systems, I want Ghana to move away from our complicated tax system to a flat tax system in 2025. Flat tax system, no, It will bring more compliance and it will bring more revenue. So from 2025, I want all Ghanaians to start on a clean slate. Clean slate. Fresh. We all will owe zero to start with. We'll clear all the tax obligations and bring in a tax amnesty for all businesses on all individuals in 2025. Bring amnesty. Start afresh and know that we have a new tax system, which is a percentage of your income. Very simplified tax system. Then you start comply, and everybody will know the way forward. Meko Vatican, Hona, many Cardinal Texin, now or Chereme Basilica Ho, na preparations be Kosovo inside there, or can't say, or more prepare for next year. I say next year, Namo start say Namo prepare, or say I. I say next year, Jubilee year. Jubilee year, no, so there's a lot of forgiveness in Jubilee year. And all of that, me say, oh, sir, me say, I am say, me so, me wo Jubilee year forgiveness of tax amnesty in Ghana. Me de ba Ghana. Me so me per se, me san ye import duty regime, no. Ma steady import duty regime, no. Ma ben who say, it is a major contributor to high price increases on the markets. Why do I say so? Businesses, no, there's no predictability about the duty they are going to pay. Ubeshia say no craniema. Now uka say o duty 1,000 cities. Ebe do ha. Almost say exchange rate assassin. Say o duty 1,500. Now win to mean to ya. Na ya sizu niema. Na ya cotton even for less duty than you were supposed to pay. And inti me pese ye de predictability eba a duty regime no. So I want to bring in a regime of flat taxes in cities. So we spare parts dealer now or the 40-foot container bar. We have a team working out the details now. Who say oh the 40-foot container bar, your duty is say 20,000 Ghana cedis on your spare parts. That is it. So the time you are importing, the time you are paying is 20,000 Ghana cedis. That is the duty. A 20-foot container is 10,000 Ghana cedis. So you know there's no surprise. So oniema ba na ose untimi ntua wana waye wade. But we want predictability. So there is no surprises to the importer. Ever. They told me, new policy medeba. Usheswa. Niama bebre is being smuggled through Togo to Ghana. Somewhat about it. The Niama is free from Togo, but because almost Togo duty lower than Ghana duty. It is more free Togo na smuggle ebaha. Mi new policy medeba. We are aligning our duty to Togo. This is our main competitor. Ghana's duty will not be higher than the Togo duty. That is the policy. So you can't, there's no incentive to smuggle through Togo. We will be lower or the same. Because they are our main competitor in terms of the coastline of West Africa. Togo is the main competitor. So we'll benchmark our duty to Togo. And then we'll have flat rates. Then there is predictability. Because what is happening is the market traders, and many times, and understanding them, and the duty changes, they put the price up. Their calculation is, and they anticipate, say, duty may go up or exchange rate may depreciate, and then they increase the price also on the market. So we have an inflation-induced import duty regime. South two policies are aligning to Togo and the flat rates then we will reduce that pressure. Then there will be no need for them to keep increasing because there's predictability in the duty. And so it's a new tax system, flat tax regime, amnesty in 2025, align the duties to the port, bring in predictability, set the duties, flat rates in cities so that we all move forward in one go. That is very, very key for it's a new system, a completely new change. And then we are going to ask GRA to do faceless audits. They should stay in the office. The technology is there. Digitalization there. You can tell whether a company is paying. This is what they do in all the best countries like Estonia. Don't think as someone to go and sit in somebody's shop for 2 months to watch what they are doing. Your friend in vigilation. Invigilation. Now, yes, you even scare away the man's customers or the woman's customers. And use technology. You say this is your report. But once it's clear, once it's simple, the tax system is simple, everybody can calculate what their duties are and what their taxes are. And we want to also, another main thing is the management of our natural resources. Change system. No. At the moment, no, we are not benefiting a lot from the natural resource management regime. But Ghana, even if you look at gold, we have unexplored in the gold belts about 48,000 square kilometers. You take from Axim, Winneba belt, all the way to Laura Nangodi area, no, in the north. Your gold belts are all the way. 48,000 square kilometers, according to the Geological Survey Department, has not yet been explored. And they estimate about 5 billion ounces of gold in those 48,000. Now, even at the market prices, it's about $10 trillion worth. 10 trillion. Even if you are getting only 5% of that 10 trillion, that's massive for a country like Ghana. I want us to focus and empower, institutions like the Geological Survey Department, the universities like UMAT and so on, all of those key universities to help us in exploration. We fund the exploration. And when we explore and we get gold, that gold is here, let us change. Let us give 100% ownership of that gold to Ghanaians. Let us change. 100% ownership should go to Ghanaians. Because once the gold is there, we will find the resources to mine it. It is not a difficulty. And in Amepe say, share Minerals Development Bank, like the Agri Development Bank, to help. And then we formalize the small-scale mining regime. At the moment, it's informal and largely illegal. So they try to do, whenever they are mining, they will try to go to very fast methods to get money before they are caught. They'll go into rivers and so on. But we need to formalize them, license them, show them where to go, give them access to equipment so that they don't destroy the environment. We have to protect the environment. So the whole mining regime, I want us to change it. And then we also need value addition. Let's not just, mine and take out. Let's process. Let's add value to these minerals and create the jobs on our soil. I want a partnership with the churches and the faith-based organizations. I think that if you look at Ghana's development and you are honest with yourself, the biggest development partner that government has are the churches and the faith-based organizations. This is the biggest development partner that government has. Look at the number of schools churches have built. Look at the number of universities churches have built. Look at the number of hospitals churches has built. Can any of our development partners compare? Any of our external development partners, can they compare? How many schools did they build? How many hospitals? How many universities? They can't compare. But if you look at it, government has not really recognized how important the churches and the faith-based organizations are. So you look at it, our external partners, we give them so many incentives, so many tax exemptions when they are bringing things into Ghana. The churches, we don't. And yes, sir. But they are the more important development partners. And so I'm bringing a new, what I'm calling a golden age of relationship between government and the faith-based organizations. And we will be providing a lot of incentives so that the churches and the faith-based organizations can help us, can help government. So as I'm bringing in more of the private sector into government, I'm also bringing in more of the church and the faith-based organizations to help government and let us move forward together. Then I want us to, for the persons with disabilities, almost scholarships who want to go to tertiary institutions and universities because of their particular situations. They don't have the wherewithal, mostly. It's difficult. So rather than just giving scholarships to anybody, let us prioritize persons with disabilities first, to give them the scholarships to go to the tertiary institutions, and let us do so much. Tourism, creative arts, agro-processing, these are all going to be pharmaceutical products. These are all going to be key areas. I just also want to, since I'm speaking to men and women of God, I know one of the big issues that it's always concerning you is LGBTQ whatever. I have made my statement clear, and I'll keep making it clear. We will not allow it. We will not allow it. We will not allow it. It is not allowable. So that is just the bottom line. No man will marry a man. No woman will marry a woman. We are very, very clear. Our religions, our values are very clear on that matter. So, any day, thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you.
Champion president. Incoming president. You do when you be.
Unyame tufu. Ora soda. Sorry, now nice. Watabankasi. No boy and buy. Oh, batampe. Okaya famu. My dear, and then daddy. You're calling them. Unyame tumfo. Yeah, watabankasi. Hallelujah, abatampe. Okaya famu, my dear, Abatampe,